After we are done with the edit, we need to deliver these videos. In this chapter, we will go over exporting these videos to different media to suit our clients' needs. If you would like to follow along, open the Export project in the Chapter 10 Project Files folder. Now that we are done editing and we have placed our bars and tone, black video countdown and everything, we're ready to export. But before we talk about export, let's talk about archiving. What if next year the same client calls us and says, hey, can you give me a different version of the commercial that you edited for me this year? Just replace these 2 or 3 clips and that's it. Well, we need to be able to archive these videos somehow. In the past, all we had to do is recapture the raw footage directly from the tape, because we would save the actual project. The project would open, it would say we can't find the files, and we would just check on off file, and then we could do a batch capture. We saw that when we saw the capturing. But now that we are not working with tape, in fact, most videographers nowadays do not shoot with tape. They actually shoot with cameras that save their files onto some kind of solid state media, whether it's a P2 card or a compact flash card or whatever it is. These are media that we cannot just save because of the cost. So at some point, the clips that we have on our hard drive need to be saved a little bit differently other than just leave them in the hard drive. For that, we're going to use the Project Manager. Project Manager. A new panel opens and you can select which source you want to save. Basically, we can create a new trimmed project, or we can even collect the files and copy them to a new location. How you archive, it doesn't really matter, but you have to select the correct one here. The trimmed project is just going to create a project using the same media that you have, but it's just going to use the files that you are actually using. So, exclude unused clips is selected by default. Collect files and copy to a new location is actually going to create something new, including with the files, and it's going to copy them to whatever location on your hard drive you select. Of course, this is going to have trimmed clips, meaning if you have a clip that is 10 seconds long but you only use 3 seconds of it, it's only going to save the 3 seconds that you select, unless of course you want to include handles, which you should, and in that case it's going to include whatever you use plus the handles. Remember, handles are extra frames at the beginning and the end of your clip that we use kind of like a buffer zone, or maybe if we want to add a transition so that the clips can overlap easily. You could make it offline or you could make it online. We already know what offline means. In the options you can include the handles. We just talked about that. You can rename media files to match clip names. In other words, you can create different storyboard clips and you can change the names of those, subclips and so forth. And if you're going to create a trimmed project, then maybe you want for the new media, the media that you are copying to the new location, to have the name that you gave it in the project panel. The project destination is where you would save this, and of course, the available disk space that you have for this. Many people just connect external hard drives to their system so that they can archive to external drives. This is a decision that you need to make in conjunction with your coworkers to see how it is that you're going to be archiving your files. The project manager, however, is an important part of this because it's going to let you trim the project to a more manageable size. So I highly recommend just going in here, trimming it, and then just either copying it to the new location or archive the trimmed project. However, we're not going to be doing that right now, so I'm going to go ahead and click on Cancel. If we just want to play this video to the client so that the client can see it, we can easily do that by maximizing any of these panels. If I have my mouse cursor on top of any of the panels and I use my tilde key, that panel maximizes and now I can just play it. This is a much better way of showing the video to the client than directly from the timeline. To go back to the original size of the panel, go ahead and press the tilde key again, and there you go. So these are very good ways of showing the video to your client, provided that the client is in your studio. If the client is not in the studio, then you're going to have to export a DVD or export a video clip, or you may have to place this video on your server or your client's server so that they can just watch it online. We're going to go over that in the following lessons.